creating files and repurposing documents. This is a great follow-up to the module that you just completed that was on creating your digital file cabinet. Now that you have the bones of your new system set up, how are you going to reorganize and rename? Now, this module, I want to change your practice forever. I want you to really learn the most effective way to name a file and folders, and we're going to talk about repurposing. I call it repurposing, and that's where you really save time with technology. When you can open up one file and you can use it the following year. It doesn't help if you have it in the back to school folder and you can't find it on your hard drive, so you retype it every year. I know, some of you are out there. I know that. That's not time saving. We need to make sure that we repurpose our documents. And without a good system, it's really hard to repurpose your documents because you don't know where your documents are. So this is a very critical module to follow up after your great digital file cabinet. Yes, I wrote the book on it. And I will tell you, my friend, Kathy Schrock, would take her name off the cover of the book if she could, when I reveal what you're going to see in this module, because even though you write the book on it, and I did research and how's the best way to organize everything, and that's what all my research was based on, the digital file cabinet that I just taught you. Well, I'm not lazy. I will not say I got lazy. I became overwhelmed with a few projects that I was doing at one time. Okay, the 10 projects I'm doing at one time, and the new book that I just wrote. And I got lazy, and you're going to see it. Look at my desktop. I never have a desktop like this. I might have 2 or 3 things, but never like this. If you see Kathy Schrock, don't tell her, okay? Don't tell her. I'll confess someday. Maybe. There's my desktop. I think I need to go back and take the last module and redo this module. All right. So you have your digital file cabinet. If you need to go back to the module before this, go back, because it all starts with a system. But the best system in the world isn't going to help if you name a file and you call it untitled, or things for class. You can't do that. We need to be more succinct. Okay, this is one of my flash drives. Gosh, now my hard drive, my flash drive. This is one of my flash drives, and I opened it up, and it honestly is called the blue flash drive. I don't even know what this garbage is, but I'm going to guess that probably half of it can be thrown away. So, this is what I wanted to do, show you, not just to continually embarrass me and my lack of organization at this current moment in time, but I want to show you the different views. You can view your files in all different views. This is called the icon view. I like the list view. That shows me exactly when I made it, how big it is in that column. So that gives me a sense as, that's probably a PowerPoint presentation filled with pictures, and I can see that. This one might really work for you to organize your digital file cabinets, because you could set up all your folders on the left, and then you can drag and drop, which might really help you. This view, I think, is to, if you're really visual and you remember what it'll look like, this might be a good view. That's the only, and you can slide, there's a slider, you can slide that across to look at your different files. No, it's not working for me. Okay, this project that I'm involved in, this with the different, what you're participating right now was a major undertaking. And if I did not have a good system going into this project, there was no way that I could complete all of this. So I want you to imagine, for every module that you're participating in, there's a video, there's a lesson plan, there's pre and post assessments, there's artifacts and objectives and a complete outline. So I really needed to be super organized for this event. So I made the digital curriculum folder. Okay, this is one project that's very organized in my life. The digital curriculum folder. And in that folder, we have backups, custom modules, and so on and so forth. So now I have folders within folders. Now, if there's only one place for the outline of the digital curriculum project, you can see that right in the middle. There's not multiple places for that. So there's only one place. Now, when we get into some of these subfolders, I'm going to take you into some of these subfolders, and one of them is, what is this? Let's go back. Okay, see where it says Units 1 to 6? The Units 1 to 6, Then you open up that folder, look at that. Now, that's what I'm talking about? That's what I wrote the book on. And I actually have continued the organization, so let's go into one of those. Okay, I must be in folder number 5. See how I put the numbers in the front? So they would stay in order. I wanted them in numeric order versus alphabetical order. So that was my trick. See that little trick? Works really, really well for me. You might even organize yours first period, second period, but that little number at the beginning really helps. Okay, so when you go into 5, these are all sitting there. So everything tied to every single module in every single unit, because these are the units. These are the modules within the unit, and every single unit has at least 5 modules. All right, so now going into one of the module folders, this is a little bit disorganized. I really should go back and kind of break some of these up. Now you can see the file formats here. The MP4 is what this movie's being saved in. They're my keynote slides that you're looking at, and so on and so forth. But everything is right here. And then in the all uploaded, that's when I moved, well, I guess it is more organized than I'm giving myself credit for, because before I uploaded everything to Schooltown, I put it into the all uploaded folder. So these are really other files, and I really probably, when I'm hit send, I could get rid of all of those, but they're all in one place. So the key, everybody, to this entire thing, be organized from the start. If I was not started this project, I would never finish this project because there's just too many pieces of it. So start with your one folder. Subfolders, remember, I don't limit you there. Be just real clear that there's just no question where everything can be. All right? Label carefully, use your number system, and have folders within folders. So I know maybe I should have put a 5 before all of those, but I didn't think that was really gaining anything because they were already nested in the 5 folder. So now, got those. I just wanted to show you about naming your folders. This is another, I completely went into one of my organized files. I feel like I need to, I don't know, repent. My whole hard drive doesn't look like my desktop at the moment. This is usually the way I do it. I do a lot of administrator training about how to work with Web 2.0 tools and so on and so forth. And so what I do is I have a folder that's called Presentations. Then inside the Presentations folder, there's an Administrator Academy Presentations. And then you can see blogs, podcasts, wikis, handout, an action plan, IPA, 210. I try to date most everything that it would matter. For example, I'm constantly learning and changing and adding new things, so I always want the most recent. But remember that whole repurposing documents? That's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm opening up the blogs, podcasts, and wikis presentation from 210. I'm updating it, tweaking, taking out the things I don't like, adding new things, and resaving 310. I usually keep them for about a year. Because here's what happens to me. I go somewhere and then they call me back up and they say, we want the exact same presentation you did, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, I don't even know what I had for breakfast or if I had breakfast. I can't remember that. So I keep them and then I go back to that, see the presentation, and then of course I always change everything. So this is repurposing documents. This is when it saves you time. If I started every single blogs, podcast, and wiki session from scratch, that's not very efficient. And so we want to make sure that we are being efficient and we're repurposing documents. But you can't do that if you're not organized and you know where the documents are. All right. Be descriptive when saving files and date everything. Now you can't use a slash in your dates. So come up with whatever naming or dating convention. If you work with somebody else, make sure that you kind of agree on your system. Like my assistant and I agreed on my digital file cabinet. We had Unit 1, Module 1, and then the rest after that. So be descriptive when you're saving. All right. That was the primer. As you can see, I need to take this module again, and I need to roll up my sleeves and really clean up this hard drive. So it happens to everybody, but take the time to go through this exercise and do this and organize that file cabinet. You will not only feel great, you will be so much more efficient. So thank you for joining me today.